So good to see you again, my dear. Remember that little predicament we dealt with not too long ago? Well, now I have a related but larger problem, so let me tell you about my proposition. It pays exceedingly well, I assure you. Care to hear more? Oh, nothing tawdry, my dear. We'll be too busy for romantic shenanigans before long, I expect. Some precious cargo was supposed to sail in on the morning tide, but it never arrived. I need someone not known around the island to be my eyes and ears. While tales of my exploits credit me with all sorts of talents, I can't be in more than one place at a time. I could use a fresh face to mingle with the locals, determine if anyone knows anything about my 3 missing ships and their cargo. Lord Baccaro's conference can't proceed without that cargo. Here's what I need you to do. Check the inn, the lighthouse, and the Lochbane shallows. See if anyone knows or saw anything. Then meet me outside the north gate to compare notes. Certainly. Since you're new to High Isle, I understand you may not be as familiar with the local area as I am. What do you wish to know? Gonfalon Head Lighthouse, blessed by Kinnereth herself, stands atop the hill just west of town. It offers an excellent vantage from which to watch the nearby waters. Perhaps the lighthouse keeper saw something that will help. Possibly. When ships fail to make port, it's only natural to wonder if they were damaged or blown off course by a storm. The lighthouse keeper has a perfect view of the approach to Gonfalon Bay. If my ships were out there, she might have seen them. The ancient Anchor Inn sits just up the street near the city gate. It's one of the more popular places on the island. In my experience, inns are an excellent location to pick up rumors. The currents of Lochbane are strong. Flotsam from the open sea often washes up along the shores of the waterway. Some of High Isle's poorer folk comb the beach looking for salvage. Let's hope they haven't found any today. Wherever you think is best, my dear, but do get started soon. My intuition tells me that some sort of mischief is afoot, and my intuition is rarely wrong. The gentleman beside me, Lord Baccaro Valoris, leads the Society of the Steadfast. They're a philanthropic fellowship that provides aid to people who have suffered in the Three Banners War. The Society is sponsoring a conference here on the island. Well, yes, but we're trying to keep the details under wraps. Only a handful of people know the true purpose of the conference. You were brought in on the secret during our last run-in with the Ascendant Order, but please keep it to yourself. That's not an option I care to contemplate, not while there's still a chance to find them. Forgive me for being evasive, but it's a rather sensitive topic to discuss in public. We've already faced adversity, and the conference has yet to begin. Me? Oh, I'm no one special, my dear. I've been an adventurer, a Lion Guard officer, a spy, a diplomat. People claim the Investigator Vale stories are about me, or that I wrote them. Ridiculous. I'm retired now, but I still dabble from time to time. Oh, pish-posh. Do these look like the ink-stained fingers of a writer of overly imaginative and lurid tales to you? I'm rather fond of the bawdy investigator and her adventures, though. They remind me of my younger days. I'm overseeing security for the conference. A few months ago, Lord Bacaro approached me, explained his grand plans, and lured me out of retirement, you might say. My charming personality. When I was an agent for High King Emmerich, I traveled widely and met many dignitaries, including Lord Bacaro. He asked me to make sure everything went smoothly for his conference. So far, it's been anything but. Certainly. Since you're...
I've learned to trust Lady Arabelle's instincts, even if others sometimes believe that she overreacts. As long as we're waiting, I plan to head inland and talk to a druid I've heard about. Maybe she'll be willing to discuss arcane practices with me.
Ah, well met. I am General Quentin, Fighters Guild. Looks like there's going to be a delay in Lord Bacaro's conference. I'll have to find a way to make myself useful, or I'll go mad. Never could stand sitting around and waiting.
Ah, a visitor. Or another one of Lady Arabelle's associates. Either way, welcome to our island. Bacaro Valorous, founder of the Society of the Steadfast, at your service. I hope you find your visit to High Isle restful and profitable. Yes, a sudden squall of unusual intensity. It died out just as quickly as it arose. I noticed it off to the northeast. Dark clouds filled that part of the horizon. Perhaps our ships were delayed by the shifting winds, or decided to wait out the storm. I'm afraid that's privileged information. Suffice it to say, the cargo coming in on those ships is vital to the conference the Society of the Steadfast is sponsoring. Of course I do, but I learned long ago to have patience when it comes to such matters. Not every setback is a conspiracy, and not every delay is the act of a Daedric cult. Though, if you do learn anything of imminent concern, please let us know. High Isle is the primary island in the Sisters Archipelago. Technically, we're a Breton holding, but we try to behave as a neutral port. People from all over Tamriel come to experience the natural beauty of the island. Well, nobles mostly. Parts of it. But we have a rich history, and the same sorts of dangers you'd experience on the mainland. Bandits, pirates, wild beasts. And you might want to avoid our sister island, Aminos. It's a harsh jungle that has long served as a prison. Mostly political prisoners from the Empire at first. Later, rival nobles, pirates, murderers. The worst of the worst. Today it also includes war criminals and certain prisoners of war. Aminos Station is friendly enough, but the jungle is deadly. I'm a philanthropist. I started the Society of the Steadfast to give relief to those caught up in the suffering caused by the Three Banners War. We establish healing tents for the wounded, distribute food and water, and provide whatever aid we can. As Lady Arabelle said, that's not something we're ready to talk about. Not until the cargo from the missing ships is secured. After that, I'll answer any questions you have. I'll even proclaim the purpose of the conference from the town square. I'm afraid that's privileged information. Suffice it to say, the cargo coming in on those ships is vital to the conference the Society of the Steadfast is sponsoring. Of course I do, but I learned long ago to have patience when it comes to such matters. Not every setback is a conspiracy, and not every delay is the act of a Daedric cult. Though, if you do learn anything of imminent concern, please let us know.
I'm a dockmaster, not a bloody mage. What does the lady expect me to do if her ships never made it to the docks in the first place? Should I be? Lady Arabelle suspects some sort of foul play, but not on my docks. Not a chance. Gonfalon Bay is safe. Everyone knows that. Trouble comes from the mainland, not from here. Of course, the waters to the northeast can be treacherous. The closer you get to Amanos, the more unpredictable the currents become. And storms constantly barrage the coast, not to mention sea elf pirates. A good captain knows these things. None of that would keep Lady Arabelle's ships from reaching port. Like I said, storms close to Amanos aren't that unusual. I doubt the ships we're waiting for would have sailed that far north. Just in case, I sent people to look for signs of wreckage in the shallows. I really don't expect them to find any, though.
You're an old soldier, can't sail. I can't carry your bag.
Come on, just one more match. Give me a chance to win my gold back.
And what will you bet? That ridiculous nose ring? Find another racket, Bragas. Tribute ain't for you.
Heard all that, eh? Guifa's a palms up card sharp. One of the best tribute players in town. But like I always say, if you want to take the measure of a grot, you've got to climb. That nose ring jibe was unnecessary, right? I'll get her next time. Tales of Tribute. It's a card game, a scavenger hunt. Zen's price. It's practically a religion for some folks. Players match wits and decks in a contest of courage, preparation, and skill. You want fame? Gold? It's all there for the taking. Ah, fresh player. Excellent. First things first. You need to learn the rules of the game, and you'll need a couple of decks of tribute cards, of course. Find Razamad in the Gonfalon Gaming Hall. Tell him Bragas sent you. He'll get you sorted.
I hear these knights are robbing people and looting caravans. Someone ought to do something. Hail, friend. Have you heard about the band of robber knights that waylaid travelers on the road to Gonfalon Bay? I came to High Isle to trade, but getting goods from the interior has become a roll of the dice. A rogue band that calls itself the Ascendant Order. I thought they were only active on the mainland, but they're here on High Isle. Rabble-rousers and troublemakers, if you ask me. And now, I hear they're looting caravans outside the city walls. Not specifically, but I saw some fancy-pants nobles giving the dockmaster grief. Missing ships could mean anything. Storms, pirates, poor winds, worthless navigators. Try Sergeant Dane over there. He's with the Sisters Guard and knows a lot.
So raise a toast with a mug in your hand to those we lost and ones waiting on land. Our bodies may be consigned to the foamy depths, but it's better than hearing our beloved sad breaths. We set sail without knowing what's in store. So we sing and we drink and we chance explore. For when life's over and work's at end, I'm pleased to call these sailors my friends.
I'm off duty, newcomer. Got a complaint? Take it to one of the other guards. We police High Isle. Ships that haven't arrived yet aren't our problem. Besides, we've got our hands full with these so-called Ascendant Order Knights. They're stirring up trouble all across the island. Just that they're little more than well-armed bandits. They've been recruiting the poor to bolster their numbers. Now they're robbing caravans while claiming they fight for justice. Honest folk don't hide their faces behind helmets and masks. They're malcontents. They go on about how the high and mighty misuse their power by squabbling over the Ruby Throne. It started out small enough, defying authority, inciting riots, petty sabotage. But now they're hurting people. Something else, newcomer? I'd like to get back to my drink.
firmness and below us, her waters spring forth free. Blue skies alight with sun found, bowing to blessings bring. Blessings of Ephraim, blessings of Ephraim. Settle deep within you, a blessing from the stone. Lean wisely into changes, let waters bless your home. Life's answers seek your questions, sky's blessing as you roll. Let nature lead you onward, three boons upon you sown. Blessings of Ephraim, blessings of Ephraim, blessings of Ephraim.
Ordinary bandits the Sisters' Guard can handle. But when we send enough guards to meet a company of Ascendant Order Ravagers, these faceless knights just melt away. And if we don't send enough guards, then our guards don't come back. Might as well be. Most knights proudly display their emblems. They wear the colors of their house and paint family crests on their shields. These Ascendant Order knights never remove their helms and bear no devices. They could be anybody.
Gather round, ye lads and lasses, listen far and wide. For across the aisles and for a while we've had a source of pride.
They've nothing but salt and steel in their
name there are. Through epic poems their deeds are known in lands both near and far. Oh, the orders of the sisters, they lie so close at hand. Let's take account and raise a glass to our merry bands. The album.
Get away from me, stupid thing!
Is it gone? You don't look like a salvager. Come to join up with those so-called knights who've been hanging around, did you? Bah! I'd rather go hungry than swear myself to the likes of them. Haven't seen anything sail by in the lock recently, and no new wreckage washed up today. But I've been keeping my head down. Those robber knights have been chasing off salvagers who won't promise to help them. They were recruiting, or at least offering the chance to earn a reward. They wanted people ready to haul in whatever came ashore. Several salvagers went with them. I wouldn't, though. What I find is mine. To a cave just down the beach. But I'd avoid it if I were you. Old Charbel nearly lost his head snooping around there. I don't know if they found what they were looking for, but I think they left a few nights behind to watch the shallows.
Lost another one. What could it be?
I can't believe you drank our entire stock!
Me? Where's your proof? Just because I hit.
Well, I shouldn't just walk into someone's home, even if they were rude.
Oh, a traveler. I thought those vile knights had returned. Forgive me, I must continue praying for the return of our idol. Without it, this tower's light will remain dark. This lighthouse is special. It's blessed by Kinnereth, the god of winds and sea. No fire serves as a beacon for nearby ships, but the divine light of Kinnereth herself. But without the sacred idol, the light cannot shine. Alas, knights in unmarked livery broke in and stole the Kinnereth idol. I watched the scoundrels flee to the west with the sacred edifice. Perhaps, dare I ask, would you be willing to recover the idol for the lighthouse so I may restore the beacon? They may wear the garb of knights, but the ruffians who assaulted me carry themselves like robbers and outlaws. Whoever they are, they're dangerous. Be wary of them, and may the wind guide you. Bless you, traveler. Please understand, to my order, this is more than just a lighthouse. This beacon spreads Kinnereth's blessing across both land and sea, but only with the idol in place, so it must be returned. It is marvelous, is it not? This is actually the second beacon to stand atop Gonfalon Head. It dates back to the early 1st century. When I assumed my duties here, the tower was in poor repair. Dangerous, even. When Duchess Alea Dufort assumed her father's duties a few years ago, she ordered a complete renovation of the structure. I'm sure she wanted to protect trade in Gonfalon Bay, but she spared no expense in rebuilding the lighthouse. You return, and with the idol. Place it here, and I shall call forth its light. Mother Kinnereth, this traveler has set right the desecration of this holy place. Return to us your blessing, and let your light shine over the land and sea. I cannot thank you enough. With the idol returned and the light restored, we can ensure the safe passage of many a weary traveler. Is there any way a priest of humble means could repay you? A blessing, perhaps? Shortly after the lighthouse was pillaged, I spied 3 ships on the horizon. Then suddenly, the clouds darkened, and a terrible storm began to blow in. I lost sight of the ships after that. Perhaps they were simply blown off course? Aminos is notorious for its storms, but Kinnereth generally blesses High Isle with fair weather. I wonder, the way the storm swept in seemed unnatural, and it happened so soon after Kinnereth's idol was removed. The idol has little value outside the lighthouse. Its light does not shine in any other location. My order believes Kinnereth's light blesses High Isle. Why steal the idol unless the knights meant to revoke her protection? A troubling thought indeed.
Good. You found my field office. I thought I'd keep an eye on the lock while awaiting your report. My own investigations have turned up little about our missing ships. Tell me, did you uncover anything useful? Did the lighthouse keepers spot them? Darken the beacon? The locals revere that light. Who would dare offend Kinnereth in such a way? Something is indeed wrong here. At least our missing ships reached these waters, but this storm worries me. Tell me more about the rogue knights. The Ascendant Order, of course. I thought the rumors about rogue knights troubling folk outside of town had a familiar ring, but I'd hoped we'd seen the last of the Order at Sword's Rest. Tell me, did you learn anything at the Shallows? It seems the Ascendant Order knew the ships would be wrecked, and they helped make sure by extinguishing the lighthouse beacon. They knew my cargo was coming to High Isle. This means the Fighters Guild and Mages Guild delegates are in danger too. Ah, you caught that, did you? My missing cargo is more delegates for the conference. Perhaps the most important ones. But I need you to check on the guild delegates right now. They went to visit a druid named Ravana. Her hut lies to the west. Valencia, you know, she created the invitation medallions. As for Guild General Quentin, I only met him when he arrived. Seems to have a good head on his shoulders, but the war has cost him dearly. He lost his wife in a raid. To disrupt the peace talks? It would be a grand stage for the Ascendant Order's message. Or they might plan to strike at the delegations. Influential voices from all three alliances will be here soon. A tempting target. The Ascendant Champion's superior. When we defeated the champion at Sword's Rest Isle, we only defeated one of the Order's leaders. I've heard whispers about an Ascendant Lord, too. I can't imagine there are too many more of them after that. Her name is Ravana. She's something of a local apothecary. She uses her skill with herbs and healing to help the folk of High Isle. With the conference delayed, Valencia was curious about druidic magic, so off she went. Quentin decided to tag along. Valencia, you know, she created the invitation medallions.
Greetings, traveler. Is there something I can do for you? Do you need a poultice or perhaps an herbal tea? Ah, yes. The curious mage and the stern warrior. They stopped by. When I mentioned that rogue knights had been making the countryside dangerous, they decided to investigate. I told them where I'd last seen the knights, and they set out at once. A clearing to the southwest. I'll mark the spot on your map. I saw a band of the knights gathering there the last time I went out to gather herbs. They forced me to retreat without them. I warned Valencia and Quentin it might be dangerous. Oh, you'll find druids throughout the Sisters Archipelago. Not too many on the mainland, though. Long ago, we druids left Tamriel and its troubles behind us. But here, our ancient ways survived. Our forebears among the Bretons believed civilization should live alongside nature, not tame it. In the early years of the Direni hegemony, they struggled for the soul of High Rock. They lost. Driven into exile, the Druids left to seek a place where they could live according to their beliefs. Their wanderings brought them to the Sisters. The followers of the Weird remained behind. They walked a different path than the Druids. We follow the old ways. Some call us priests of Ifre, but that is only part of our truth. We are children of the land, like the Weird, guides and teachers to those who live in harmony with nature. People were not meant to bow before crowns of metal. No, friend. We know the Weird, and we respect their beliefs. Druids and Weiresses are two branches that grow from the same tree. But we are called to be in this world, not to withdraw from it. Some circles see it differently, of course. Circles are fellowships of like-minded druids. Each interprets Ifre's will differently, but druids of the same circle share common traditions and goals. I belong to the Stonelore Circle. We seek to teach others by the example of our work. Yes, travel far enough in the archipelago and you may meet druids of the Eldertide or Firesong circles. Although the Firesong rarely leave their island, and you should be wary of the Eldertide. They do not like city folk or mainlanders. The Weird are Breton witches. They follow teachings and practices that share a common ancestry with the Druids. Whereas we left the mainland, they remained behind to safeguard the forests of High Rock. We have more in common than we have differences. The biggest that you would notice is that the Weirds are all female, while we Druids accept all genders in our ranks. And we organize in circles of common beliefs, while the Weird Sisters form covens.
Over here. I could use some help. Ah, my friend. How glad I am to see you again. This island is far more dangerous than I expected. especially after what just happened. Guild General Quentin accompanied me to visit Druid Ravana. When she told us about rogue knights in the area, Quentin was eager to investigate. It was the Ascendant Order. They overpowered Quentin and knocked me senseless. They captured Quentin. I don't think so. The Ascendant Order was definitely trying to take us alive. That's the only reason I had the opportunity to throw up a shroud spell and avoid being captured myself. Did you come out here to find us? And Ravana told you where to find us. Good. Now, we must rescue Quentin. I may have a way to find where the Ascendant Order took him, but we should get to safety first. Meet me back at Druid Ravana's hut. I've remained at Lady Arabelle's side since we delivered the invitation medallions to the delegates. I hope to help make sure their journey to High Isle proceeded smoothly. It seems the Ascendant Order is not so easily avoided. I came to talk to Ravana about arcane and related topics, and Quentin decided to tag along. When Ravana told us about rogue knights, I feared it might be the Ascendant Order. Quentin wanted to investigate. Turned out I was right. No, we came upon them just as they were finishing an attack on a caravan, but I assume they recognized us or decided our station warranted capture rather than elimination. But you came with a warning, didn't you? What did you find out? Wrecked the ships? How in oblivion could they coordinate such a thing? Clearly, the Ascendant Order is aware of the plans for Lord Baccaro's conference. They're here in force and causing more trouble than we anticipated. If they recognized us as delegates, there's all sorts of ways they could hold that over the conference. If they just assume we're rich nobles, ransom is always an option. But who can really say what those helmeted bastards are thinking?
I understand, Valencia. Do what you must to find your friend.
I owe you a debt of gratitude for coming to my aid. It seems once again that Lady Arabelle chose well. Now to see if I can find Guild General Quentin, and by extension, the rogue knights who carried him away. Do you recall the invitation medallions I enchanted? Each delegate carries one, so I can trace my own magic to locate Quentin. Now let me see. They moved northeast, across the loch. I see an abandoned chapel. Crypts. No question, Quentin is there. Lady Arabelle asked me to try as soon as we realized the ships were late. I wasn't able to make a connection with those medallions. Maybe they were too far away, or some other magic interfered with my scrying, but I wasn't able to detect anything. No, we need to return to Lady Arabelle and share this information. Then we can mount a rescue for Guild General Quentin. I'll meet you at Lady Arabelle's little pavilion. What she calls her field office, I believe.
That sounds like a Bane chapel, but only one medallion is there. Valencia apprised me of the situation. I believe I know the place where she thinks they're holding Quentin. It must be the crypts below a Bane chapel on the northern shore of the loch. Will you accompany us on this rescue mission, my dear? Smashing. This will be like that time I pulled General Gautier out of a Reach stronghold during the border raids of 566. Now that was an adventure. Anyway, it's too bad Valencia couldn't scry the locations of the other missing delegates. I suppose you've earned the truth, and you certainly deserve my complete confidence. The 3 ships carried High King Emmerich, Queen Irene, and Prince Ernskar, son of Yoren the Skald King. I dare say I've misplaced the leaders of Tamriel. I warned them of the danger, and we took such elaborate precautions. Obviously, they weren't enough. If we find Quentin with the Ascendant Order, we may find our missing royals. Let's meet at the chapel north of the loch and see what awaits us. We'll rendezvous at a Bane chapel on the north side of the loch. I've already sent an operative ahead to scout the area. Be prepared to defend yourself. The Ascendant Order won't give up Guild General Quentin without a fight. Whatever the situation, I won't abandon Quentin to his fate. Oh, that's good. Let me write that down. Besides, we have to risk it. Both to save Quentin and to see if we can learn anything about the missing Alliance leaders. We know their medallions aren't there, but they could have lost them at sea. Regardless, if the Ascendant Order uses the chapel as a hideout, we may learn something about their plans. Or a clue as to where to search for the Alliance leaders, perhaps. Not a student of politics, my dear. I understand completely. They're the leaders of the Alliances vying for the Ruby Throne. Well, Irene and Emmerich lead 2 of the Alliances. Ernskar is the son of Yoren the Skald King, who leads the 3rd. You poor dear. You must pay more attention to current events. Queen Irene leads the Aldmeri Dominion, High King Emmerich the Daggerfall Covenant, and Prince Ernskar represents the Ebonheart Pact, the opponents in the aptly named 3 Banners War. It's complicated. The Ruby Throne sits vacant, and the Tamrielic Empire lacks an emperor. None of the alliances can stomach the idea that one of the others might win the throne. It's a wonder Bacaro and I got them to agree to these peace talks.
I'm sure the Ascendant Order won't just let us walk in and take Quentin back. It's a good thing that you're coming with us. I have no great talent for the more destructive schools of magic.
There. It's open. Got any more locks you need picked? How about you, Valencia?
I think not, thank you.
Now's not the time, Jakan. Let's see what awaits us down in the crypts.
Hey there, good looking. Lady Arabelle said she hired some muscle, but she didn't tell me it was you. Anyway, I'm glad you're here. You know me. I'm a lover, not a fighter. But I need to work off my debt, so here I am. You know me. Every day a new adventure. Had a good thing going for a while, smuggling spices out of Hagath. Got married twice. No, wait. 3 times. The third one nearly got me hanged, but Lady Arabelle saved me from the gallows. Well, I used to. Then Lady Arabelle put me to work chasing stolen medallions and rogue knights all over Tamriel. I guess she's not so bad once you get to know her. Maybe I'll be my own boss again when this is all over. Long story. It involves multiple maidens, a few princes, and one charming rogue who stole all their hearts. Then the authorities got involved. Fortunately, Lady Arabelle agreed to take responsibility for my good behavior. Now I owe her. Valencia? Poor girl's smitten with me. She can't help it. And who am I to break her heart? So I flirt a little, just in case she's looking for an excuse to finally agree to my advances. I can see why you'd have that opinion. Valencia hides her true feelings well, and she's hesitant to start a romance with a colleague. But she'll come around. And if not, I can take no for an answer. It's just, well, that hasn't happened before.
I can't pinpoint the exact location of Quentin's medallion. He could be anywhere in here.
I'll scout ahead. Maybe someone should watch the door in case anyone follows us.
I'll keep watch. Be careful.
Aw, I knew you cared.
Quentin is our priority, but keep your eyes open. Who knows what the Ascendant Order left lying about?
I'll keep watch. My scrying has led us here, but I won't be able to get us any closer. I hope you find Quentin and that he's all right. Be safe.
Let's take a look around, carefully. Guild General Quentin is here somewhere, and we might be able to find out more about what the Ascendant Order is really after on High Isle. Ascendant Order propaganda. Don't be taken in. They are not as benevolent. No sign of Quentin yet, though. We should keep going. The Ascendant Order has the captains of our missing ships. But where are the Alliance? First things first. Clear the path to the South Crypts, please. We must rescue the captains and hope that Quentin is with them. Zaji, Zuzo. Thank the Divines you're all right. But where are the delegates?
Apologies, my lady. We lost our charges.
Zaji is not all right.
Not to spoil the reunion, but we're about to get company.
Jakarn, free the captains. Friend, keep the Ascendant Order at bay. Buy us some time.
Thing won't... Wait, got it!
Collect Valencia and get the captains to safety, Jakarn. We'll find Quentin.
The Knights took Quentin away not long ago. I think they're questioning him now.
Then we must hurry. Come, my friend. Down there. It's Quentin. Let's listen and try to figure out what's going on.
A new age of peace is upon us. An age of free peoples, standing together, not kneeling to distant thrones.
This is not your war, General. What say you?
The war took everything from me. I am with you. How can I help?
The Order is trying to recruit Quentin? We have to put a stop to this.
Each delegate carries a medallion like this one, Magus. It serves as both an invitation and a symbol.
You need your access later. Right now, I want you to kill the meddling investigator nipping at our heels.
Lady Arabelle? But she's...
no longer working alone. She's found some capable help. Deep
Oh, Quentin. I guess you made your choice.
Here is your chance, Quentin. Stop these fools and strike a blow for the people.
I'm sorry, Lady Arabelle, but I have made my choice.
For the Ascendant
Do
Order!
what you must. We can't allow the General to stop us. I'm sorry it came to that, but well thought, my friend. Let's speak outside. I didn't expect Guild General Quentin to turn on us, and I certainly didn't desire his death. It seems sympathy for the Ascendant Order is more widespread than I knew. We must be cautious, particularly with whom we choose to trust going forward. Do I expect it? No. But that doesn't mean we should let our guard down. This venture wasn't a complete failure, though. We rescued the captains of our missing ships. We need to find out what happened at sea and what befell the Alliance leaders. To Mandrake Manor, my home in Gonfalon Bay. I'll mark it on your map. Jacan, Valencia, and I have been using my townhouse as a base of operations. I'm confident that it is as safe from the Ascended Order as any other location we might choose. Oh, the name comes from a book I'm rather fond of. I bought the manor to serve as my home in retirement, and I keep a few mementos of my career there. Meet me there, my dear, and we'll see what our rescued captains have to say about all this.
Forgetting your prayers will cost you in the end.
What are you looking at? I don't have any work, if that's what you're wondering. I operate on my own, and if you were smart, you'd do the same.
I knew there were statues in Gonfalon Bay, but I never knew they were enormous.
Ah, there you are. Go inside and talk to Captain Colleen. Find out what happened at sea. I need a moment to collect my thoughts.
I admit, I didn't expect someone like the General to fall for the Ascendant Order's patter. Guess you can never tell. Anyway, you should hear Captain Colleen's story. It made the hairs on my neck stand up straight.
Lady Arabelle explained that Guild General Quentin chose to join the Ascendant Order. I knew he carried pain in his heart for the people he lost, but I never imagined his pain could lead him into such folly.
Funny. First time we met, you were the one fished out of the water. Now look at us. I owe you a great debt. And I owe Dockmaster Arnauld a debt of a different kind. I visit High Isle often, and I thought he was a friend. Bah. An armored mage and a gang of ruffians were waiting at the shallows. They clubbed down all who made it ashore. Dockmaster Arnauld showed up, and I thought we were saved. But the mage, a Brent noble by his voice, paid him to walk away and leave. We were nearing landfall when a huge storm swept out of nowhere. I looked for the light at Gonfalon Head, but the lighthouse was dark. We were blown off course, crashed upon some rocks. I lost sight of High King Emmerich, but somehow made it to shore. I'm not sure. I didn't see any of the royals when I waded ashore, and I was the last one from my ship to make it to the beach. The tide turned as I swam in, and no one was washed up after me. I'm afraid you won't find the High King at the shallows.
If there is any way I can help with your investigation, I am at your disposal. I want to find Prince Ernskar as much as Lady Arabelle. More, even. I remember it like the ripples in my favorite pond. A storm blew up without warning. My ship was driven onto the rocks near Aminos and broke apart. All were cast into the sea. When we reached shore, those rogue knights grabbed us. I did not see what became of him. He might have been trapped in the part of the ship that was swept away. Or maybe the currents carried him to a different part of the shore. Or he might have drowned. I know that many of my crew did.
Zaji has decided no more drinking until Queen Irene is safely back in his arms. Maybe that was a dream, never mind. But Zaji wants the Queen and Casca to be safe. He will help you and Lady Arabelle foil these villains and rescue the Queen. Zaji must admit he was sleeping in his cabin when the storm hit. He woke up when cold water climbed into bed with him. The next thing Zaji knows, he is being fished out of the sea by strange knights. I'm saved, Zaji thinks. Then they tied me up. The annoying knights, yes. Zaji heard the commander talking. The Lord, they called him. He was angry the Alliance leaders did not wash ashore with Zaji. Zaji did not see the Lord's face, but he spoke like a Breton noble. Zaji could hear it. Zaji lost Queen Irene, and first mate Casca too. The wind and the waves must have carried them somewhere else. The Lord and the Magus, the Order's leaders, they swore to comb every beach until they found her. And the others too, Zaji supposes.
Over here, dear. We have much to do. I adore this view. Isn't the Colossus a wondrous sight? Still, gazing upon it does nothing to quell my anxiety. Somehow the Ascendant Order learned not only about our secret peace talks, but that the Alliance leaders were going to attend. And neither do we. We're not even sure they're still alive, but we must hope. Your help has been invaluable thus far, my dear, and you've earned every piece of gold in this pouch. We'll find the Alliance leaders and unmask the Order. We have to. Just as the Colossus watches over Gonfalon Bay, I was supposed to keep the Alliance leaders safe. I failed in that, but at least they aren't in the Ascendant Order's hands. Not yet, anyway. What did Captain Colleen and the others have to say, dear? Breton nobles? Yes. We heard that as well when the Ascendant Lord and the Magus were speaking in the crypts. That's something to go on. And if the Alliance leaders didn't end up in the Shallows, we'll need to look elsewhere. What else, dear? Well, that's a lead we can investigate. I'd like to have a chat with Dockmaster Arnauld about that and a great many other things. I detest being lied to, and he did it with such conviction. You're still on retainer, dear. Would you care to join me?
Goodbye, my friend.